Have you ever looked at someone your age? Someone who started with less money, less experience, less talent, and somehow they built the life you keep dreaming about? When you see it, your mind immediately searches for an explanation. They were lucky. They had better connections. They were born different. It's comforting to believe that, because if they're successful because of luck, then your situation isn't your fault. But what if that's not true? What if the biggest obstacle between you and the life you want is something you can't even see? Not because it's hidden from the world, but because it's hidden by your own mind. And here's the strange part. Your brain isn't trying to destroy your future. It's trying to protect you. That's exactly where the problem begins, because your brain has one primary mission: not to make you successful, not to make you rich, not to make you respected. Its oldest mission is much simpler: keep you alive. That sounds helpful until you realize your brain was designed for a world that no longer exists. Thousands of years ago. Walking into unfamiliar territory could mean running into a predator. Trying something new could get you killed. Taking unnecessary risks wasn't brave. It was dangerous. So your brain evolved to love one thing above everything else: familiarity. Fast forward to today. You're not running from wild animals anymore. You're trying to start a business, speak in front of people, go to the gym, apply for a better job, start a YouTube channel, ask someone out. Different worlds of same brain. And here's where it gets fascinating. Your brain often reacts to uncertainty as if it's a threat. Not because those situations are actually life-threatening, but because uncertainty still triggers ancient survival systems. That's why your heart races before a presentation. That's why your hands shake before an interview. That's why you keep delaying the very thing that could change your life. You call it procrastination. Your brain calls it protection. Now think about your own life. How many opportunities have you postponed? Not because you couldn't do them, but because you couldn't guarantee the outcome. You wanted certainty. But certainty is a luxury that growth never offers. Here's something most people never notice. Every major breakthrough begins with uncertainty. The entrepreneur doesn't know if the business will work. The athlete doesn't know if the training will pay off. The artist doesn't know if anyone will care. The creator doesn't know if anyone will watch. If certainty came first, nobody would ever call it courage. Now let me tell you a story. Imagine two people standing at the edge of a cold swimming pool. Both want to jump. Both know they'll eventually have to. The first person stands there for 20 minutes, testing the water with one foot, stepping back, making excuses, waiting for the perfect moment. The second person counts 3, 2, 1, and jumps. Here's the interesting part. Both people experience the same cold water. The only difference is how long they suffered before getting in. That's how fear works. The anticipation is often worse than the experience itself, yet millions of people spend years standing at the edge of their own lives, waiting for the water to feel warm. It never does. Now here's a question. Have you ever noticed that the things you're most proud of were also the things that scared you the most? Your first job, your first workout, your first difficult conversation, your first risk. At the time, it felt impossible. Today, it's just part of your story. So why do you believe your next challenge will be any different? This is where your brain plays its smartest trick. It convinces you that this fear is different. This time you might fail. This time people will judge you. This time you're not ready. But if you look back, your brain has said the exact same thing before every important chapter of your life. And every time you listened, you stayed exactly where you were. Here's another strange truth. Your comfort zone doesn't usually feel like comfort. It feels like responsibility. I can't leave this job. I'll start after things calm down. I need more time. I need more money. I need more confidence. Those sentences sound logical. That's why they're dangerous. Because they don't feel like excuses. They feel like wisdom. But are they? Or are they simply fear wearing a smarter disguise? Think about that for a second. How many dreams have quietly disappeared? Not because people lack talent, but because they kept waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment has ruined more lives than failure ever has. Because failure teaches. Waiting only delays. And while you're waiting, life keeps moving. Someone else starts the business. Someone else applies for the opportunity. Someone else uploads the first video. Someone else takes the risk, not because they were fearless, because they understood something you might be realizing right now. The goal isn't to eliminate fear. The goal is to stop asking fear for permission. And once that idea takes hold, everything begins to change. Because maybe, just maybe, the voice you've been calling logic has actually been fear all along. So here's the question. If your brain is wired to protect you, how do some people break free? How do ordinary people become extraordinary? How does someone who was once shy become a confident speaker? How does an overweight person become an athlete? How does an employee become an entrepreneur? Were they born different? No. They simply discovered something that most people never do. And that discovery changes everything. Let me explain. In psychology, there's an idea that's both simple and incredibly powerful. Your identity doesn't change because you think differently. It changes because you repeatedly act differently. Think about that. Most people believe they need confidence before taking action, but confidence isn't the beginning of the story. It's the ending. Imagine you've never lifted a weight in your life. Would you walk into a gym feeling like a champion? Of course not. But after a year of training, something changes. You don't just have stronger muscles. You have a different identity. You stop saying, "I'm trying to get fit." You start saying, "I train." That's a completely different person. Now apply that to every area of your life. Successful people don't wake up believing they're successful. They become successful because they keep collecting evidence. Every promise they keep, every difficult conversation they have, every challenge they face instead of avoiding, every time they do what they said they would do. Their brain updates its opinion. It starts believing, "This is who I am now." That's why tiny actions matter more than giant intentions. Your brain doesn't listen to your goals. It watches your behavior. Imagine someone saying, "I want to write a book." Years pass. Nothing happens. Another person writes 1 page every morning. At first, nobody notices. After a month, still nothing impressive. After 6 months, the pages begin to pile up. After a year, there's a manuscript. Not because they were more inspired, because they trusted consistency more than emotion. Now ask yourself something. What story has your behavior been telling your brain? Every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," your brain hears, "We don't keep promises." Every time you quit halfway, your brain learns, "We don't finish." Every time you avoid discomfort, your brain concludes, "We're not built for difficult things." Then one day you look in the mirror and wonder, "Why don't I believe in myself?" Because belief isn't created by positive thinking. It's created by proof, and proof comes from action. Here's something fascinating. Have you ever noticed that after you finally do the thing you've been avoiding, it almost never feels as difficult as you imagined? The phone call, the interview, The first workout, the first video, the difficult conversation. Your imagination made it enormous. Reality made it manageable. Why? Because fear is a storyteller. And it's incredibly dramatic. It always predicts the worst possible ending. You'll embarrass yourself. They'll laugh at you. You'll fail. You'll regret this. But how often has that story actually come true? Not often, yet we keep believing it. Now here's something even more interesting. Successful people aren't better because they think more positively. In many cases, they simply recover faster. When they fail, they don't ask, "What does this say about me?" They ask, "What does this teach me?" That's a completely different mindset. One question creates shame, the other creates growth. Imagine learning to ride a bicycle. If every time you fell, you decided, "I'm obviously not meant for this," you'd never learn. But children don't think like that. They fall, they laugh, they stand up, they try again. Failure doesn't become permanent until your interpretation makes it permanent. Somewhere along the way, many adults stopped treating mistakes as teachers and started treating them as identity. "I failed" becomes "I am a failure." Those are not the same sentence. One describes an event, the other creates a prison. Never confuse the two. Now let me tell you something that might change the way you think forever. The life you want isn't built in dramatic moments. Movies teach us that transformation happens overnight. One speech, one decision, one miracle. Real life is quieter.